Silicon Valley, where the heart of the tech industry resides. In this video, we'll be discussing why many tech companies are fleeing this once land of technology. Its mild climate, educational opportunities, and job prospects have attracted workers for more than a century. And for all of these years, it had been the home of several large and popular tech companies that were headquartered or operating from the San Francisco Bay Area. To put it on technology terms, it evolved and stuck. The 9-county region boasts a $535 billion GDP and ranks 19th among the world's economies. But now it seems that all of that is going to change soon. Why? Let's get into that. For decades, Silicon Valley has existed as a U.S. tech hub, serving as ground zero for tech enterprises and promising startups alike. But the number of large tech firms is decreasing as days are passing, as some big names like Tesla and Oracle are shifting their company from the San Francisco Bay. But what could be the reason behind the sudden departure of these companies? Cost of living. This city's staggeringly high cost of living and out-of-reach housing prices have been known to break many a bank. While Silicon Valley has the highest annual average high-tech salary of around $140,000, notoriously high housing prices in the region have seen it become the most expensive real estate market in the U.S. On top of that, a family of four would need $103,200 in household income just to make ends meet. High tax rate. California's legislature has only made matters worse. Most Californians think that they already pay high taxes, and they are not wrong. California has 10 personal income tax rates, ranging from 0% to 13.3% as of 2020. The highest rate of 13.3% begins at incomes of $1 million or more for single filers as of 2020. And the tech titans don't earn less than $1 million, so it is directed towards them. The 13.3% rate is referred to as the millionaire's tax. So in recent years, San Francisco has seemed to be begging for companies to leave. An impossible housing market, high tax rates, and strict regulations have made it challenging to live, work, and do business in Silicon Valley. Moreover, as companies are finding success with work-from-home models during the COVID-19 pandemic, many CEOs are opting to leave California in search of lower real estate prices, better tax laws, and fewer restrictions. Well, it wasn't surprising for the Bay Area management as Jim Wunderman, president and CEO of the Bay Area Council, said, "It's very troubling news because it's not unexpected." Keith Rabois, a former executive at PayPal and LinkedIn, also said that he grew tired of California's high taxes, cost of living, and problems such as homelessness. For now, the Bay Area is unlikely to be displaced as the nation's top tech hub. After all, it's still home to some of the world's most valuable companies, as Facebook, Apple, and Google are going nowhere. But quite a few legacy firms, tech leaders, and venture capitalists are on the move. Here are some of the big ones who are breaking their bonds with Silicon Valley. Hewlett-Packard. Hewlett-Packard is pulling up the stakes in Silicon Valley. Coming on the heels of the recent announcement by the company, they are all set to get out of the Bay Area. If you visit the private HP Garage Museum in Palo Alto, California, you'll see a plaque proclaiming it as the birthplace of Silicon Valley. This garage is the birthplace of the world's first high-technology region, Silicon Valley, the marker reads. This firm said it was moving to meet customers where they are in their digital transformations in these extraordinary times. Oracle. The second largest software maker in the world, Oracle, which was founded in 1977 in Silicon Valley, plans to move its corporate headquarters from Silicon Valley, making some familiar headlines, suggesting that California is finally going to pay for its so-called hostility to business. "We believe these moves best position Oracle for growth and provide our personnel with more flexibility about where and how they work," spokesperson Deborah Hellinger told CNN. Oracle co-founder and chief technology officer Larry Ellison told employees that he is moving to the Hawaiian island of Lanai, which he bought 8 years ago and will telecommute. 8VC. The venture capital firm, run by Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale, is also moving its headquarters from Silicon Valley. Lonsdale said 8VC has been considering an expansion to the middle of the country for 3 or 4 years. It's just become really obvious that there are a lot of places to build around the country, not just Silicon Valley, due to cost of living talent, and all sorts of other things, culture and whatnot, Lonsdale said. Elon Musk. Now, it is not a company, it is the richest man on earth. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has recently moved from the Bay to Texas and is rapidly relocating his California-based business empire too. We've got the Starship development here in South Texas, where I am right now, according to Musk. Earlier in 2020, the billionaire sold 2 of his Bel Air homes in Los Angeles. California's strict lockdown rules during the coronavirus pandemic are believed to have encouraged his decision. Drew Houston. Dropbox CEO Drew Houston recently purchased a home in Texas and plans to make it his permanent residence. Many are hoping that they are not entirely ditching the tech hub. They are showing some hope to the Californians. They haven't left Silicon Valley. They're still continuing to employ people here. They're still continuing to innovate here in Silicon Valley, said Peter Leroy Munoz of the Silicon Valley Leadership Group. Most of these tech companies, which are shifting from California, are turning their heads towards Texas. The most fashionable new landing spot for tech firms is in Austin, Texas, which has already developed the name of Silicon Hills. As of November 2020, 39 companies in tech and other industries had relocated to the area, which is already home to computer company Dell and semiconductor giant American Micro Devices. But why Texas? Because the cost of housing is 1/3 of Bay Area prices, which is pretty convenient for the employees. Texas offers less expensive housing, food, and more. Another financial reason behind tech billionaires moving to Texas could hinge on simply maximizing the dollar, as Texas, unlike California, does not have a state income tax. So this absence of a state personal income tax amounts to a 13.3% raise for top earners. Construction on Tesla's next production facility is taking place in Austin. Once completed this year, the factory will build not just EVs, including the car maker's upcoming Cybertruck, but batteries as well. Musk's Boring Company, which specializes in tunneling and transportation infrastructure, is also reportedly eyeing the Texas capital, an emerging tech hub in its own right. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is also moving its headquarters to Texas, along with Tesla founder Elon Musk's exodus to the Lone Star State. HP Enterprise already had more people in Houston than any other city before it recently announced plans to move its headquarters to Texas. Database giant Oracle Corp announced it is moving to Austin, Texas. This 70s software giant, founded in Silicon Valley, had already transitioned parts of its 135,000-member workforce to Austin over the last 2 years as executives sought to cut costs. Texas is also welcoming these companies with open arms. We continue to see a tidal wave of companies like Oracle moving to Texas, thanks to our friendly business climate, low taxes, and the best workforce in the nation, said the Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Whether Texas is Austin, or as it's dubbed the Silicon Hills, will supplant Silicon Valley as the next tech hub in the years ahead remains to be seen. Recent high-profile tech relocations, and paired with an increasingly virtual workforce, innovators and talents are sure to have a valuable option for their prospective futures. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. And for more videos like this, hit that subscribe button.